If you got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no one for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections.
Hey girl, and welcome back to another episode of Fierce Chat. My name is Sasha, and if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting on? Hop into our episode today. A quick message from one of our partners.
Hey y'all, I'm super excited to share with you a brand that I love called Parade. Parade is a female-owned underwear brand where all fabrics are made with recycled material. With every purchase, Parade will donate a percentage to an organization of your choice. I really love how everything is super comfortable, girl, made for all shapes and sizes, including men. So go to yourparade.com and use code shesyourfierce for 30% off your entire purchase. Now back to the episode.
So, it's been a little minute since we had a Fierce Chat episode. I really took some time to take a look back and see what it was that we were doing, what we were talking about, how y'all were feeling about it. And I've come up with what I feel like is a whole new strategy, but maybe it's similar to what we did in the first episode. So I really want this to be like something we, be able to sit down and have like some girl time, but I also want us to have fun. I feel like we've got into some really like deep topics, and it doesn't mean that I don't want us to have those deep topic and deep conversations, but I also want us to be able to sit here and kind of switch it up, because you know what I mean? Life is hard enough. Have fun and laugh through it. So anyways, today is, what day is it, girl? It's February 12th, and I apologize we weren't able to kick off Black History Month together, but happy Black History Month. What are you doing for Black History Month? And in a couple of days it is also Love Day, Valentine's Day. So what are your plans? For me, I really just decided we were going to do a Valentine's date night, and I'm just not feeling like going to get dinner and being on all the elements and stuff like that. Plus, I really feel like, I want to have some intimate time with my man. Okay, with my man. And so we're just gonna do something at home. I'm gonna make sure it's very nice and cute, girl. If you haven't, like I said, subscribed already, I will definitely put it in next week's vlog, so look out for that. And I just got done shooting a little 90s photo shoot. So this episode will probably come out after those pictures are already on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go take a look at those and tell me what you think. I really love when I think about something and then I go and execute it and it comes out chef's kiss good. Okay. All right, girl, let's get into the mess. Let's talk a little about what's going on in pop culture. First things first, these boots. Are y'all for real? Why do y'all want them for real? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not a fashionista. I'm not. I don't. I'm trying to change my fashion and stuff, girl. And I've been very impressed with myself within the last few years. But I'm not a fashionista, so I don't know. Why do y'all want the boots? It's feeling like companies are just coming up with anything and you guys are buying them. And so now, how are we gonna have any leverage when we tell them when they're being dumb? They're gonna be like, I've been watching different people put these boots on and try and take them off, and I am not impressed. I see that on the Shade Room posted that Fabio Foreign, and I believe, am I saying his name right? Fabio, girl, I don't know, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. He had them on, and then I saw a basketball player had them on, and then Miss Emily B had them on as well. And I saw this guy on TikTok that I follow who is like amazing at styling, and he actually did put them on, and I thought that he styled them very well. It still don't see where, you wear them out in the elements, but I guess that's what fashion is all about. It's about taking risks. It's about living life to your standards and how you see fit. So maybe that works for the rest of you, but the guy who I also saw style them, he cut them in the back. Girl, put a whole slit in the back of them. He cut them. So I feel like if you get some boots and they're $350 and you gotta cut them, I think they're wild. I think they're literally beyond me. Like, there were so many different things last week that were just beyond in regards to pricing. First, these boots. Second, these Beyonce tickets. Girl, I'm stressed. Okay. I I'm stressed because I've never seen her. You know what I mean? I've never seen, and maybe it's not her. So I heard that Taylor Swift, she was going on tour or is going on tour. I'm not sure. I don't really follow Taylor Swift's music like that unless it's something that's like, just like, you know, it's everywhere. You can't miss it. So apparently she's getting ready to go on tour. And I believe that her fans have like shut down the entire Ticketmaster site when they released tickets. And so they came up with this new verified fan sales tickets. So me and my homegirls, we like, okay, a few of my homegirls not really feeling Beyonce. So what's up with y'all? If you're not feeling Beyonce, go ahead and scroll past because I don't have time for it. I don't want the energy. You won't get it. And that's fine. I understand. It's not for everybody. Beyonce's going on tour. We all lit about it. And we like, okay, so how are we going to get the tickets? You know, normally like American Express or, you know, some big credit card company like that ends up doing some sort of pre-sale, you know. So I actually do have Verizon. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try and do the Verizon up pre-sale. Girl. Okay, so this is the second day. This is after the first day of all the girls being on Instagram like, I can secure them. I got my ticket. It's selfish is what it is, okay? It's selfish and I refuse to entertain it. So anyways, my self-hating ass go and get on Ticketmaster. So and do the Verizon upsell. Now hold on, you may be wondering, why didn't you do the Beehive? Girl, I did do the Beehive. So I had a old school email that was attached to my Beehive like email or my Beehive account or whatever, right? And so my school just recently cut off all of our emails. So I can't like that. I had that account for so long. And when we got to school, they told us that we were going to be able to keep them forever. So I'm guessing, you know, that was a lot. I'm sitting over here scrambling, trying to figure out how I'm going to get these tickets. I'm like, okay, there's a Verizon Up one. So I do the Verizon Up pre-sale. 1:59, 2 o'clock, I'm in. It's like there's 2,000 people in front of you. How? This is giving me Telfar bag pre-sale. That's why I don't like to do those little things because the stress of it all, it's just a lot. Okay, it is. It is. I mean, I take a look and every time I select a ticket, the ticket is like, wrong. Sorry, girl. No, another fan got it. So I was like, I don't even know if we're going to be able to get these tickets, girl. I really don't know. The only tickets that were really left were tickets that were way up in the nosebleeds. And if you saw my last vlog, which is up, if you saw my last vlog, which is up, you'll see that I actually did get tickets that were way high up. Girl, I'll take it. Honestly, like I said, there's not an option for me not to have seen Beyonce. So I really don't care if I was in the nosebleeds. Judge me if you want to. But I just really didn't care because, you know, I'm like, I want to be in the space of the queen. I have seen Beyonce so many times. She's an amazing performer. Don't you see her on TV, girl? Don't you see her at the Grammys? Well, I haven't seen her at the Grammys or anything like that in a minute. But the last time that she performed for us, when she did that little sneak sesh, maybe it wasn't sneaky. But she just performed over in Dubai, and from what the little screen grabs were that I saw from everybody, girl, she's finna kill it. So I didn't really care if I was in the nosebleeds or not. But by the grace of God, because I'm highly favored, I was able to get some tickets a little closer. So Beyonce will be coming to Atlanta August 11th and 12th. And your favorite Virgo is going to be in the building. Okay, so hit me up, girl. What you trying to do? Pre-game? I'm trying to get some dinner. I'm trying to eat first. You know, just be all in the elements until we get to see the queen. Like, what are we going to wear? If you haven't got your tickets, it's okay, babe. Keep hope alive, okay? Just keep calling. Just keep seeing who has them. Because I have not seen people been like, oh, I got Beyonce tickets. Hit me up. I got Beyonce tickets. Oh no, you're not going to make a mockery of us. Like, you're not going to take advantage of Beyonce's real, true, and loyal fans by taking yourself on Ticketmaster, buying those tickets, and then saying you got Beyonce's tickets. Shame on you. Shame on you. Then you're going to hike up the price crazy, knowing that we're going to pay for it. Why would you? It's a cruel world. It honestly is a cruel world. So just keep hope alive, girl. I mean, I felt like I said, I know I did get the nosebleeds, but they weren't that difficult to snag at least a ticket, you know? Now, in regards to where you're going to be seating, that's a whole nother thing, okay? It's like a rack if you want to be in the 100 section. And normally I'm used to being around that section. I feel like I haven't paid over 300 for Beyonce before in the past. So the fact that you need a whole racks on racks on racks just to kind of be like, Beyonce. I can't say I'm shocked, because how long has it been since we've seen Beyonce? Like 5 years? Maybe more. Since she's been on tour. So I knew everybody would be wanting to go, and you already know she is going to be dropping an album right before we get ready to go. So go ahead and get your pencil and paper out. Make sure your radios and all of those things are ready for you to play Beyonce over and over again, so you know all the words, because I don't want to be next to you while you're not reciting the words like no excuse. You know she's gonna do it. She's gonna test our loyalty like she always does. As a true Virgo myself, I understand. You know she's gonna do it. Probably like, I feel like when Lemonade came out that we knew she was going on tour. This is just how this is what I remember. I could be wrong. But I feel like when Lemonade came out, we already knew she was going on tour, right? We already had tickets, I feel. And then she dropped Lemonade and we were like, because I felt like I was thinking about, I know I'm not going to this concert and I still got to sing Drunken Love. And I'm like, she's gonna have an album. So I feel like she did that with Lemonade. So be ready, girl. Be prepared, okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Did y'all happen to see where Idris Elba said that he does not want to be referred to as a black actor, that he just wants to be referred to as an actor? How do y'all feel about it? Because when I first read it and I was looking at it, I felt like, I don't know. I'm a bit torn, because I feel like we end up having to describe our work as, if we have a business, it's black owned. Or if you have, anything, it has black in front of it. And he was like, I believe he said, or actually, you know what? Let me not misquote him. So here's what he says. He says, there isn't a soul on this earth that can question whether I consider myself a black man or not. Being an actor is a profession like being an architect. They are not defined by race. However, if you define your work by your race, that is all your prerogative. I lie? Question mark. I noticed after 2020, when COVID and all of those things came into place, I noticed there was like separate categories. So like you'll see on Hulu, there's black cinema. And if you go to Netflix, it might be black movies, but there is now a section that is categorized by black art, work, movies, and things like that. And I wondered to myself, at first, I feel like I exercise the tab, meaning I click on them like, oh, okay, what do they have under the category for me? Kind of like the ethnic section at Walmart. But here's the thing. Or ethnic section at a store, right? But here's the thing. When you go to a store and you go to the ethnic section, why can I not say that? Ethnic section is small. And compared to the grander scheme of everything else that is on the aisle, just having that one category that is dedicated to people of color, it kind of, makes it seem like they're a smaller part of an entire picture. Obviously, black people are a minority, people of color are minorities, right? So you're not going to have as many things for us that you would have for people that are not of color. However, I do feel like it may kind of put us in a category and kind of put us in a small box from allowing us to really break out. But I don't know. It's a touchy subject. Am I black? Am I proud? Absolutely. Do I want you to always be like, that is Sasha, the black girl with the black YouTube girl? I don't know. It does sound a little bit weird, but I don't know. I feel like, I have my knowledge about just overall Black history and, just different things that we're doing to progress ourselves and to make sure that we are making improvements to the people behind us who, set us up to be able to do so. So I wonder if putting Black in front of anything that we do ends up putting us in a category that prevents us from being part of a larger discussion. Does it? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be something that is going to always be like that because we're a minority. So we'll be in a box of our own regardless, right? I don't know, girl. I don't know. But comment below and tell me what you think about that. Whether or not you feel like putting Black in front of anything puts us in a box it doesn't allow us to break out of, or whether or not it is very important to make sure that we keep that Black in front of things so that, we stay true to our roots, stay true to our color, and remember where we came from, okay? Another point, I feel like last week, girl, I was so stressed. My anxiety was literally through the entire roof. And let me tell you why. I feel like I have, been talking to you about working on my boundaries and working on relationships and working on, just learning more about myself. And this process is no joke. Conversations with my therapist, and she's saying things like wounds, like these are your wounds that you're repairing from, that when somebody says something, it, stings the wound. So you need to make closure with it, tie it up, give it stitches and throw it away. I'll be like, girl, Sasha don't have no wounds. Sasha's fine. Okay. I understand what you're talking about. I understand, but wounds, and honestly, it makes perfect sense because, when certain things have occurred, like within relationships or just with people and just regular communication, I have noticed that, it might be some particular theme that always gets me a little bent out of shape. So anyways, stress last week, right? I had a presentation, I just had a lot of different things that really required me to zero in and focus. And those things end up like triggering my anxiety or my perfectionism. And my perfectionism, we've talked about it several times. And there's advantages and disadvantages, like it's hyper, high functioning people with anxiety. Like sometimes people will call me, productive. Most times people are going to call me productive because I'm always like, let me fix this, or let me do this, or let me do that. But really it is my inability to actually feel content and just kind of feel whole when I approach things and when I do things, right? And so I just realized probably within the last year, I've been doing this soul searching journey to find more about and I've just realized that, there's a lot of parts of me that I've been trying to run away from. There's a lot of different things that I've been trying to run away from that really have caught up to me in my adulthood. Like for real, specifically my 30s. In my 20s, girl, I did not care. I don't care. I don't like you. And I'm going to never talk to you again. I don't care if I do have to come across you. I don't care if we do end up working at the same place, girl. I didn't see you. I don't know you. If they asked me your name, I wouldn't know a thing. Be discreet because, I definitely want to make sure that we can get personal, but I also want to keep things private. Feel me, girl? But hopefully the story doesn't get lost in translation. So anyways, I've been talking to my therapist about this particular relationship. And the reason we've been talking about it is because of the stress and the anxiety that it's literally caused me. And what I realize is that it really has more to do with me and less of them. Oh my God, it starts with you. I guess, girl. Like I said, always ends up being the case. But anyways, I really realized that in this particular relationship that I was holding on to whatever I felt like we were supposed to be. And for this one, we're not talking about somebody who's like, we're not talking about somebody that I'm just going to pass in life and not anymore. This is someone that's going to be in my life, right? So due to the challenges and just like the different toxic things that I feel like I've experienced with this person, it really has caused me to really close myself off and harden myself up. And I really felt like I leaned more into my masculinity, which is, being defensive, saying, I don't care, I don't give a fuck. And you go and talk to somebody else about it, girl, because I don't care. All of these different things to try and protect myself. So then I get older. And I got a friend who, girl, literally, I can listen to her talk all day. She sounds like reading Rainbow. Just so peaceful, just so calm. But there was some calmness and there was some just understanding from her energy. I don't even know what to call it, that made me feel at peace. And I used to always kind of wonder, why don't, I would describe myself as a very much social person. I'm a nice person unless you cross me, try me if you want to. But a nice person, right? But I know there's those people that you'll come across and you'll just be like, wow, your energy, your spirit overall is just beautiful. How do you enter this world really just being you and being so at peace? And I realized this really just comes from having boundaries. Stated, this is not somebody that I can just kind of cluck, bye, you're done, I'll never see you again. This is somebody that is going to be in my life. So how do we set boundaries with people that we love, right? How do we set boundaries with them? I felt like in this relationship that I would be constantly pulled and tugged and just kind of be in a whirlwind anytime I interacted with them. And so I would distance myself, right? I would distance myself. Then I would come back and I would be like, okay, I've got these tools. I've listened to all my good podcasts. I've got my therapy notes in place. You will not get me this time. And probably end up in the same exact place. And I would be like, why? Why? Because your new perspective will not change somebody's mindset. Just because you've sat here and done the work, and just because you've sat here and had your time with God, or, you know, just had your time to center and to be accepting of all things around you, doesn't mean that other person has. So when you take your time to go back to them, to show them all these new things, they are not going to care. And I don't mean to say this in a way of lose hope, like there's a lost cause. It just means to have a better understanding of what it is or who it is that you're dealing with. And if you do want them, you do want to continue to have a relationship with them, how you can do that under your terms. Because it's just being real, it's just being realistic. Like if I sit here and I've got a PhD in biology, and then my homegirl was saying she wants to get a PhD in biology as well. If I come and talk to her and she hasn't completed her classes, she's not going to know what I'm talking about. We can't relate. No matter how much it is that you want to focus on the topic and how much you had dreams to do so, you got to look and pay attention to what is in front of you for real. And then once you do that, you can better assess where your boundaries lie and what you need to do so that you can get what you need from the relationship. So what even are those things? I've had a lot of time to think, right? Because like I said, I feel like I have done so much work on just overall anxiety. I do have to also realize that, you know, my anxiety will just be a part of me. That, you know, all humans experience anxiety in some form or fashion. It's just some of us experience anxiety in a different way. It can have very high levels, you know, and affect other things. And I was just finding that I wasn't able to focus on nothing else. That, like, you know, the body is a container, and that I would just kind of really feel like I really, you know, had something on my mind. I wasn't able to focus at all. I had some really bad anxiety, and it just really came from really the result of this relationship, and, you know, constantly coming back to it, trying to figure out, I feel uncomfortable here. I don't really know what to do here. I'm trying to tell you that this is how I want it to be, but you're not understanding, and I don't get it. And it is really because setting boundaries comes with, you know, really setting the tone for how you will interact with somebody. Meaning, I love you, I'm here for you, and, you know, I'll be here to support you. But once you start going down this rabbit hole where you want to, I don't know, talk shit about all the girls from high school, and we're going down, you know, a whole spiral, no. Those are where my boundaries lie. I want to talk about what you're doing with work. I want to talk about how the kids are. I want to talk about how school is going. You know, just a very light example of how you set the tone, because I feel like the way that people really get us out of our element is by us going down their whole rabbit hole of a whole bunch of stuff that we have no business being in. And we also have the tools to bring ourselves out of. And we probably also have done the work to make sure that we don't find ourselves in those spaces. But, you know, somehow when we come across this person, we end up there because we don't have no boundaries with them. And that's okay, because we're going to get some very quick. So that's first, setting the tone for a relationship. And it's second, figuring out, what do you even want from the relationship? Do you want to be able to have more conversations about business with this person? Do you want to be able to have more conversations about day-to-day things with this person? And anytime that you try and, you know, talk to them about those things, these are the things that you get. Setting the tone also means that you're aware of what happens every time you try and have a conversation or every time you experience this person. So that way, when you're setting the tone and also realizing what it is that you want from the relationship, that you're making realistic goals or a realistic strategy. It doesn't mean bring yourself down. It doesn't mean that you can't hold on to all of the progress that you've done. You just got to realize what it is that you're actually dealing with. I'm expecting anytime I come across for you to be able to help me find some closure about this situation, because I feel like it's been enough time. No. Unrealistic expectation, not a boundary, not setting a tone, setting yourself up for failure. What can you do? Okay, anytime I come and talk to this person, we can talk about my career goals, and I really like that. That's very helpful for me. Then do that. Stop trying to do all the other stuff, because it sets yourself up for just disappointment and frustration, and we don't want all those things, girl. Okay, we don't want all. We're not about to lose sleep over people who don't even know your real value. And if that's the case, that means that when they have something to say about you, when they are giving their opinion, leave it at bay. Those are boundaries too. leave those things at bay. Like, okay, it doesn't mean, obviously we know, sticks and stones will break my bones and words will never hurt us. Words will hurt you. So that means that even if somebody who, you have boundaries with, every once in a while they may get outside of them and, cause you to fall in a certain space. But that again is going to come to you and how far you really let yourself go down a rabbit hole with their opinions, with their feedback. People can only tell you things based off of stuff they know. And if you're trying to start a new business and you're talking to your sister about starting a new business and she's like, don't start a business, stay at work and all of these different things, she's telling you what she knows. She's not trying to, discourage you. She's literally telling you the information that she knows. So it's also just beneficial to go into conversations knowing that people really can only talk to you about stuff that they know about. And if you're trying to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't know anything that you're talking about, what are you really expecting from that conversation? Easier said than done, girl, because I suffer from it every day. Are redirecting conversations right on out of there. We are establishing our threshold for how far you really want to go. Don't try and push yourself unnecessarily. Like, you know what? I've done all this work. Let me see if I can literally sit here and handle them emotionally tearing me apart. No, babe. No. Toxicity. We are moving away from that. We do not have to sit and endure things that don't serve us. We really do not have to. We don't have to. We can express love. We can express compassion for, another person's opinion, but reaching your ultimate potential and reaching your ultimate blessings really comes with, first your relationship with your, with the creator. Like Sarah Jake said, in order to know why you were created, you have to have a relationship with the creator. And so that means that all of these other opinions, it doesn't mean people don't have valuable opinions. It just means stay focused, stay clear on your purpose, stay clear on your worth, stay clear on your value. So that way, when you go into conversations with people that you love, but you want to set boundaries for, you'll be very clear on how you want to set the tone, redirect, and establish a threshold. Okay. It just will be very as simple as that. This is work that I am doing. These are things that I am learning. These are things that I am trying to get better at because I protected myself for a long time, but in a harsh way, which is why I really didn't like the term soft life, because I'm like, what do you even mean? But what it means is, as I've said before, is that we're going to be softer with ourselves. And how do we do that? We do that by creating barriers and creating spaces to protect ourselves, but not in the hard way, in the soft way, in the calm way. I feel like boundaries are a direct reflection or a direct, connection to calmness. And as all over the place that I am, as expressive as I am, I do crave just stillness, peace, and calmness. And I think we all do. And I feel like, in my opinion, we achieve that by being more aware of ourselves and creating boundaries where needed and not letting even the people we love just kind of stomp all over and tap dance all over our heart, girl. Okay. But we're not going to be doing it. I want to hear about all your Valentine's Day plans. I want to hear about how it goes. I want to hear about, all the boundaries that we are setting in place and just everything that you're doing, girl. I want to know all the things. Let me know. We're going to do some sort of spotlight. We're going to spotlight any of my favorite things. That could be Starbucks, that could be a beauty product, that could be music, that could be a movie. And this week it is Starbucks. I felt like it was perfect because this is Valentine's Day week, or we're coming out of like the, Valentine's Day holiday or whatever. And so I thought this was pretty on brand. So other day, girl, I went to Starbucks and I got this. And this is a Valentine's Day ombre drink. For all my girls, this is a dragon drink topped with passion tango tea. Very refreshing. It was very tasty. If you like the dragon drink, I normally get the dragon drink with coconut milk. So girl, the next time you go to Starbucks, try out this ombre drink and let me know what you think. Doing some little executive producing, setting Fierce Chats up so we can really have a show that we're going through, talking about different things and ending it on a light note. I also want to play a few games. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at shesyourfierce, because I want to do like a questionnaire or something like that I want to put into like a game. I may even do something where, like I don't know. I want to be able to call y'all or something and be like, girl, okay, so answer this question. I don't know. Who do I think I am? V103? Anyways, thank you for watching. Appreciate you as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
If you got it, it ain't a question.